So next I'd like to bring up Leslie Dach, our Executive Vice President of Corporate Affairs and Government Relations, to give a little greater context on what the next steps look like. Leslie?
Thanks, Matt. I know Mike's thanked the entire team, but I want to particularly thank Matt and his team really for the work that they've done day in and day out, supported by a number of people around the world and here in our sourcing and energy and merchandising teams. It's really been a great team effort. People asked us a little bit, do we have a lot of education to do? What's the buy-in from the business? And I think what's great about the work that we've done together is that's been a partnership throughout, that everything we've done to make progress has been deeply embedded in the business. And it's been a success because it's really become part of the business here today. So I'd also like to echo what Mike said about thanking our suppliers and our NGO partners. This has been a journey to sustainability that we would not have been able to do without their insight and support and help. So I'd like to invite Fred, if he can, to join us. Fred's the president of the Environmental Defense Fund, and in his years there has really built that organization into an international presence in this space. A group that's recognized both for its ability and understanding of the science and how to get things done, and its increasing ability to help drive progress both in the public and in the private sectors. And Fred and I even overlapped. We were saying this morning that my second job out of college was at Environmental Defense. Fred was an intern there while I was there, but like most other places in life, the people who were interns when I was doing something have done better than I have. So that seems to be an ongoing pattern, but more about that later. What we'd like to do now is to have a brief discussion about what's important about what we're announcing here today. We want to talk about what it means for Walmart, what it means for people who shop in our stores, what it means for the communities that rely on us to be a good neighbor. We also want to talk about what it means more broadly. What does it mean for business as a whole and societies that are trying to move to a lower carbon economy, that are trying to understand how to use more renewable energy and how to do that at a price that the economy can not only absorb but prosper with. As Matt mentioned, Environmental Defense Fund really has been a true partner to us in this effort. And Fred personally, I think, has been the epitome of both the persistence and the patience that Mike described earlier. So we appreciate that. EDF has opened an office here in Bentonville. Some of Fred's colleagues are here with us, but has supported that with help around the world. And they have helped us be smarter and more effective as we've tried to look at things like how do we improve the energy efficiency of our supply chain in China? How do we look at the chemical components of what's in our product and make better choices? And they have also helped us continually, as well as our other partners, to understand that by having a transparent process that involves a variety of public and private and NGO stakeholders, we'll just end up doing a better job. So thanks, Fred. And I just want to say one other thing before we get to the questions. What I really love about today's announcement is that it is really a Walmart approach to a problem and to solving a problem. What's great about it is that we're going to end up taking more carbon out of the environment through this cooperative approach than our own footprint growth. But we're going to do it in an incredibly efficient way. We're going to do it in a way that actually does it and saves the most money possible. We're going to do it in a way that's transparent and adds to the overall knowledge and that we share with all of our retail counterparts and suppliers around the world. It's going to be measurable, and we can be held accountable for it. And that is really a great thing about our approach. And what I also love about it is that it's going to get done. One of the great things about Walmart is when the size and scale of this company can be put to use to make a real difference in the world and do it in a way that's consistent with our culture and with our values. And so this is a project that's going to be successful because it's going to be successful with our suppliers. It's going to build a stronger global supply chain and deeper and better supplier relationships. And it's going to be great for our customer because it's going to uphold the basic promise that Mike said, which is that when a Walmart customer anywhere in the world comes into our store, they should not have to choose between a product that is of high quality, that is good for the environment, and provides the best value of any retail store they could possibly choose to go to. So with that, Fred's and I are going to just have a bit of a discussion. And because one of the first things that I really was trying to understand, Fred, is why do you think this is important? I mean, you've put a lot of your personal time into this. You're a busy guy. You got on an airplane today, maybe even had a stop somewhere on your way down here, put your life in the hands of the American commercial airline system. Why was this important, and why was it important to you to do it personally?
Well, Leslie, I think this is incredibly important. And first of all, I'd like to thank Walmart and thank Mike Duke for the announcement today. I think this is real leadership, and it's important to me personally, and it's important to the world because Walmart is looking at the big picture. You already, starting years ago, have been looking at your own footprint. As Mike mentioned, you've been making your stores more efficient, the old stores, the new stores. You've been making your trucking fleet more efficient. But today's announcement means you're looking at the big picture. You're not only going to continue to work on your own carbon footprint, but look at where the fact that Walmart buys products from so many places and so many vendors, how can that be used to achieve change? And that's very significant. So, yes, the 20 million metric tons is a good, ambitious, big goal. It's like if we weren't going to burn 2 billion gallons of gasoline in a year. That's significant. It's like if we were erasing the whole direct and even indirect carbon footprint of Walmart for a whole year. That's how much carbon you'll get out of the system over the next 5 years. So that's good. The fact that it's now that you're going to do this before legislation requires you, I think that's good and important. But what's sensational, Leslie, what's sensational is that you're going to launch a process, a race, a treasure hunt among your suppliers to find ways to cut carbon pollution and cut their energy costs, which is going to be valuable to your customers and the world.
That's great. Let's talk about the customer a little bit more, because I think there are a lot of folks who would say, you know, particularly in today's economy, caring about carbon, caring about sustainability is probably not the first thing that folks wake up in the morning when they think about their own personal problems or society's problems. So why is something like this important to the customer?
Well, I think for one, cutting carbon does mean cutting costs, and I think it does mean getting better value for the dollars spent. So efficiency is one reason. A second reason is that many countries around the world, certainly including the United States, have questions of energy security. Where is our oil going to come from? And here is a way to reduce the demand for those imports. That applies not only in the United States, but in other countries as well. And in general, when we cut pollution, we're making families and our kids healthier and doing things that are for all of our well-being, making for a better world. I think that's something we all want.
You know, I think there's been a lot of debate about what governments are going to do or not do about this. And as Mike said, and as you said, there's an opportunity now for businesses to step in and move on their own. What do you think the responsibility of business is in this? And for a company like ours, what do you think our responsibility is?
Well, I think you do have a few responsibilities, but also opportunities. And I like to think about them together, Leslie. For one, there's a responsibility to do, as Mike again did this morning, to call for the nation to enact comprehensive energy legislation that also cuts pollution. And Walmart has done this before. I'm glad to hear the company reiterating that. But there's also in addition to that responsibility to be a good neighbor and good citizen, there's also the opportunity to find savings, to cut costs, and to increase market share by giving customers the products that increasingly they want and government regulations will require. So I like to think about it as, doing well by doing good.
One last question. We spent a lot of time here at Walmart talking about ROI. You've put some of your folks right here in Bentonville. You spend a lot of time here. What do you think the ROI has been of environmental defenses and funds investment at Walmart?
I don't think there's better money that we're spending anywhere, Leslie. I really think the opportunity to have employees stationed here in Bentonville, to have them walk in and out of your building as though they were associates, to have them sit in on meetings, to have them counseling you, pushing you on occasion, but also learning what is necessary operationally to make something work, and then using our creativity to be part of the solution. I think that's been a great investment for us. But I want to say that it's been a great investment for us only because people like you and Mike and Jim Stanway, who had this vision initially years ago. The associates here really want not only to make the company stronger and healthier, but want to do it in a way that makes the world stronger and healthier, and that's what makes the investment for EDF so leveraged.
That's great. Well, we could keep going, but we're way out of time. So, Matt, we'll turn it back to you. Thanks again, Fred.
Thank you.